Hey, I'm back. I haven't played this in a while, and I imagine people who are like, "Oh, new Capsule Monster Coliseum part." They have the exact same face Bakura does right now. It's not that I haven't played for any particular reason. I've just been really bad at recording lately, so I've been mostly doing it with other people or just streaming. I don't think I like this game as much as I streamed it. No offense to you guys, just I like the chance to just regurgitate stories. I think it's fun. So let's get right into it. I still have to tell the finale to my my vacation, which was I have the last day in LA, and then my whole trip to Portland, and then also a few other little things at the end. Oh, I forgot about that. Nice. I'm like reading it already. Hopefully this elicits some people to be like, wow, this guy's content's great. I can trick you just for a little bit longer.
Take it easy on me.
It bothers me that Bakura's uniform doesn't look like the other people's uniform from their school. It looks more like he found some pajamas and just like, oh yeah, I go to your school.
But it's not an honorable duel if I don't treat you with respect.
That's Yugi's way of saying I have to play my hardest because I need to win.
And duel to the best of my abilities, Bakura.
I guess that's true, but as long as I have fun, it'll be smashing.
Right.
You know, my issue with Bakura's voice actor right now is he sounds too much like Yami Bakura. Like, I don't know, just like by himself, he sounds too much like Yami Bakura. Like Yami Yugi and regular Yugi sound nothing alike. Although I guess Yami Marek and Marek sound pretty similar, so I'll let it slide. Man, I always get to choose. I don't know why. What it is about me always winning, but okay, I'll take it. Oh, I'm so tired. So I went to bed at 11. I woke up at like 5 or 6 yesterday, and then I was like mildly depressed, mildly just trying not to check my phone, and I ended up falling asleep for a few hours, like take a nap, and then I was just been up, and then I fell asleep again. From like from like 11 to midnight just listening to music, and now I'm here because I just like, and now it's 5 a.m. I'm just gonna reset real quick, and then we'll go from there. So I fixed my sleep schedule, and then I immediately fucked it again, which is the story of my life. Alright, let's get into these. So I think I told this one, but this is like one of the only things I've written down. So I want to make sure I repeat it again. We were, this was back on the first day of my trip to, in Los Angeles. One of my friends, my friend Catherine, she's a hippie, basically, but she's like a high-functioning one, where you wouldn't know it if you looked on the street, but if you like talked to her for a little bit, you kind of figure it out, but like, it's not super obvious. So we were in a park, and a woman ran by us, and she had dreads, and she was jogging, and she was really fit, and I thought she was attractive, even with dreads, on a white girl, which is not a good thing. So Nick disapproves. Add it to the list. So I was walking next to her, and I turned to her and I said, "That could be you if you tried harder," which. One of the most offensive things I've ever said to someone. But it's like, it was one of those things where it's just like, I made a joke really quick, and that was the plan. And then I was just like, immediately I was like, I can't believe I just said that. And then she just like looked at me like open mouth and just started laughing. Like, just like, like so shocked I would say that. And because I was laughing that way too. It was just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I did not mean that way at all. I just said it, sorry. She was just like, wow. And then she called our friends over, and she's like, guess what Nick just said to me? I was like, oh, no. I made a mistake. Oh, man, why is Bakura making it harder on me? Alright, we got Great Maw, Dark Magician Girl. I think I'd rather have Curse of Dragon than Dark Magician Girl, because he's leveled up higher. Let's get Fire Reaper in there. We have Time Wizard. Time Wizard's good for the AP thing. Nope, can't fit him. Let's get Kariba number 1, and then we'll get Meteor Bug, I guess? I don't... Damn, I Can't fit anyone. Okay, 47. So let's go. Yeah, I guess we'll go with man-eater bug. I guess that's fine. I don't know. I'm down 1, but I think I'll still be okay. So that was the first. I think I told that story, but I wanted to make sure I told it again because I think it's funny. So we went to, I forget what the bar was called. Mama Padres. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. That was the name I came up with. It was called Gracias Madre, and I kept calling it Mama Padre. I don't know why. I was half delirious most of that trip. So we went there because it was a vegan. It was a Latin vegan restaurant, which I guess made it okay. No, so it's basically just, we were trying to get Spanish food, but it was all vegan and stuff. And in theory, that sounds great. In actual practice, it was terrible. I did not enjoy it at all. Jackfruit is not even anywhere close as a substitute for taco meat and stuff like that. So, okay, let me just try this again. I'm just gonna make it do manual, or just gonna do it random. But yeah, so when we got there, we were waiting for a table, and I noticed, I was looking at a guy, and I have this habit, and this habit is going to come back to bite me in the ass later, and it constantly does. Of when I see people with a really bright screen, not paying attention, like paying really close attention to their phone, especially texting or something like that, I'll look over and I'll start reading it. It's definitely a bad habit. It's not like nosy, it's not like I actually care what they're doing. I'm just like always super interested to see if they're doing anything like illicit. To me, that's really funny. So, I think this one paid off a little bit. So this was, this dude, I read a little bit where it was something like, you know, we should get back together. I think we had a lot of fun. He was definitely texting an ex. I got that much. Can I really not? Oh, I was gonna say, can I not hatch Greba? Really? So he was texting an ex, trying to get her back. And I was just like, oh man, I'm so sorry for this dude. But what I wasn't sorry for is we were waiting for like 2 minutes for a table. So I read that immediately.
Slow and steady wins the race.
And then I just like saw him so I saw him typing another message. It was like a paragraph, and then he spent about 60 seconds scrolling through emojis, like emotes. Like he was trying to find the perfect emote to get across for the situation. He kept scrolling back and forth, back and forth. He would type it and then he would delete it, and I was just like, oh my god, I've never seen anyone in my life put this much effort into emojis. And that's why I don't use them, because it's too stressful. I can't handle that. So this next one's gonna get mildly racist. It's gonna get playfully racist, but just hang with me. I don't think it's that bad. I'm gonna say it anyway. So there was a, I think, Venezuelan pilot who spoke English, but definitely as a second language. Sitting next to us at our table. He was in the corner with 2 very lovely looking women, and that's important to the story. It's not me just being like, he was with some hot chicks. And they were in the very corner, and we were like the one like to the left of the corner. So he kept talking about what it's like to fly and how the plane. You know, imagine a dude trying to pick up women by talking about how great it is to be a pilot and how stereotypical that would sound. That is exactly how this dude sounded. So like he went on this thing. So I was like on the edge, so I was like the closest to them, and I was just like, it was all I could focus on was just like listening to this dude's entire conversation, and it was just loud enough where I was the only one who could hear what he was saying. So I just spent most of my dinner not eating my food because it was gross, but trying to learn everything I could about this guy. And he was like, I can't do the accent. It was just like, you know the plane when you fly it. I'm just not gonna do an accent. The plane when you fly it is like, it's like your pet. You know, every guy or every pilot, and they'll deny this, but it's always true. Will like name your plane and stuff like that, and as you like leave, or as you like exit the plane, you always like put your hand on it and kind of like pet it a little bit. Good girl, and you always say like good girl and stuff like that. I'm like, that cannot be true. I would definitely know about this stereotype by now. So he was full of shit, I'd like to think. But I mean, I'll give the dude props. He was suave as fuck about it. Like he was like, I thought I was watching a movie. And he was 100% gonna have a threesome with these two girls. And I know this because he was in the middle. There was one on the left and one on the right. And they both kept giggling at every goddamn thing he said. Alright, phone, do you want to chill the fuck out? Jesus. I just start putting on a mute. I do that, and then I ignore people's texts because I don't get them, and then they get upset with me. Yeah, he was... Then he started giving, like, financial advice. Saying about telling the girls how to, like, invest their money. I was like, what is going on right now? So it was a strange situation. I had to tell my friends, and I was just like, something is up here. And I need someone else to witness it, so I'm not going crazy. And I mentioned it to my friend Catherine, and she was like, I mean, they're probably escorts. I mean, we're in LA. And I was like, oh, baby. And I was just like, but isn't the whole point of an escort the fact that you can skip the wooing process? Like, you don't have to impress them. You paid for it. Like, they're gonna act impressed, and maybe that's what that dude wanted. I'm not convinced either way. They might have been escorts, they might not have been. The one on the left was a black-haired, was black-haired, and she spoke very perfect English. And she kind of reminded me of like an emo or scene girl who like grows up and becomes a functioning adult, and where it's like you could see remnants of the look, but it wasn't like, it didn't define her anymore, if that makes sense. Which, to be honest, that's my type. But it's whatever. So just like, I thought she was very attractive. And then there was just like, and this is going to be offensive if you're blonde, but just roll with it. You'll be fine. A stereotypical attractive blonde woman. I'm not really into blondes, so this doesn't, I can't really rank this. Just kind of like, she looked attractive. She was blonde. I mean, it wasn't, it's weird to say, but it was like attractive in the sense that it was like so conventional, where it's just like, it was boring to me. That was not very nice. Sorry, Bakura. War is hell. So that was the thing. Shout out to that guy. I don't know how his night ended, but I hope it was well. So then, oh yeah, the next thing I wrote down is, and this is kind of a global issue, or at least a countrywide issue. So it sounds boring on the surface, and as I read it, I'm like, that's boring, but roll with me here. I was very surprised at the price differences in LA for gas, in that we could be driving down a road for like 10 minutes and one gas station would be at like $2.70 and then another one would be at like $4.50. And it wasn't like the difference between like diesel and regular. It was just like flat out like regular versus regular. Like it listed all three prices and stuff like that. It was like $4.70, $4.80, $4.90, $2.70, whatever. So I was very surprised by that because I thought there would be like laws in place to prevent that, but whatever. There was 2 different stores involving donuts, and I wouldn't have brought it up, but there was a store that we passed one of the earlier days that said donuts and Chinese food, and all I could think of is like, if there's ever a store I need to go to, it's donuts and Chinese food. And I never went, and I regret it. And then there was Yummy Donuts and Top Burgers. And in my head, I'm just like, not only do we have Yummy Donuts, which is much better than those filthy, disgusting donuts that they sell. The ones for dunking. So they have Yummy Donuts, and they have the Top Burgers. Not the best, top. As in they're right up there. I loved every time I'd pass a weird store where it just like it had a name that it just shouldn't have. What is this dude's... How did he attack me? I want to know how he hit me from that far away. I guess I'm barely in his range. That's really annoying. And I can't really hit anything with my Meteor Buck. I can kind of use him as fodder, which is fine. Just get a hit in. So we met outside, or on the day before we left for the airport, we met at the friend we were visiting. We went to her apartment for the first time. Or I guess it's a house. It was a very tiny house. I don't know. It's not... An apartment is when it's buildings on top, or a building with multiple rooms on top of each other, etc. You know what I mean? Like it's not really a debatable structure. Oh, sweet. He has low HP. So it was like, so she was, it was like a shack basically, but it had a bathroom, kitchen slash, yeah, bathroom, kitchen, 2 rooms, and then like a tiny living room. It was very small, but to be honest, I would gladly live in a place like that, regardless of in LA or whatever. I would like that. That was like, I would still live there. So I'm not faulting her by any means for it. Oh, sweet. Okay. What else? How should I do this? I can destroy that Karibo, but I gotta think about Curse of Dragon and moving him out here. Hold on. So he cannot move. He's trapped as long as that Karibo's there. But I can't destroy that Karibo this turn. Ooh, what does this do again? Reduces the attack of its target by 75 points. Last 1 turn. Fuck, do it. Why not? Can't do anything else. I just pulled in Duel Links. There's like a, I guess like an upgraded Curse of Dragon, where it's like if you summon it, then you can use it to fuse a monster that turn, something like that. It's not like your regular, your garden variety Curse of Dragon, which I thought was pretty cool. It's like burning Curse of Dragon. It looks like it's on fire. It's just cool. I like when they go back to like cards that exist before and they like make them better. Like there's Swift Gaia and like Raging Gaia, like and all that. They got Dragon Champion shit. I love that shit. So I thought it was cool. Anyway, so we get to Jill's house and she's warns us, but I wasn't ready for the warning. There are like 10 stray cats outside of her house, and I was just like, what is happening right now? Don't get me wrong, I loved it, but I was like, what is happening? I ended up getting like 3 of them, because they were very skittish, to come up and let me pet them, and I was like, yes, they may be diseased, but they're cats, and that's more than enough for me. So, that was fun. And then, we walked down the streets to, a place that I just opened up. She's in the neighborhood right now that's not great, but it's like in the process of getting gentrified. So I guess she's got that going for her. So there's a new place that opened up. It was like a Mexican bakery, and I think that was like their description for it. But it was just like, it just looked like a sort of like half, not like a full-fledged bakery. Like they had a bakery case up front, and they had one up against like the wall when you come in, but that's about it. It wasn't like overly bakery, and it was like half that, half coffee shop. And I don't drink coffee, so I just got a hot chocolate, and I got a Mexican hot chocolate, which I learned was just what did I write? It's just cinnamon and brown sugar. That's Mexican hot chocolate. That's all you need. Those are the only ingredients required for Mexican hot chocolate, in case you're wondering. And honestly, it was delicious. I was starting to wonder if I actually liked hot chocolate or not. It was like it was a real crisis I was going through, where I keep getting chocolate, or I keep getting hot chocolate and then not enjoying it. And I was genuinely starting to wonder, like, do I just not enjoy hot chocolate? And I think I do. So there's that. And so it's like very specific places though. Like I don't always get it. Alright, Summon Skull can take out that Karibo, or someone else can, so I'll try and land a hit on this thing first. I'm gonna land a big hit too. But yeah, that was good. While this isn't written down, but while we were there, I got this really long text from one of my bosses where it was like, I have the text, let me pull it up. It was like super passive aggressive, and I was just like, I'm on vacation. Why am I even in this group text? It obviously doesn't apply to me. Let me find it. Ah, here we go. It's very easy. Oh, okay. Ooh, wow. Even like, you know when you get a preview and then you like click on it and it's like read full message? It's like I wasn't prepared for it to be this long, and I've already read it. Hold on, let me finish my turn first. Okay. Do I go for... I could land a decent hit here. Let's see what Great Moth can do. Let's see what makes him so great. Okay, he can hit either of them. I could kill the Karibo. Could do serious damage to this. I could take out Feral Imp this turn if I attack with both of them, I think. I'll do that. Okay. I think that's a solid plan. I hate when he says it's not very nice because it does make me feel bad. Okay. I was worried for a second it wasn't going to kill him. I was going to be very upset. Alright, this is going pretty well. I've been having some touch and go matches lately, so this is refreshing. Hell yeah, I want to level up. Alright. Is B Skull Dragon in this game for leveling up Red Eyes and Summon Skull? I don't know. I'm curious now. Okay. So this is the text I got at 1:40 my time. So when I'm in LA, it would, or 2 o'clock here. So it would have been like 10:50 in LA in the morning when I got it there. And it was, let me make myself. I'm gonna do an emphasis every time the words are in caps. Let me make myself perfectly clear. We do not have regulars other than Marty that don't need to show ID. I have dummied it down. And that's in parentheses. Also, it's called dumbed down. Dummied it down is not an actual thing. As much as I can. We now only take Massachusetts driver's license ID. Driver's license and ID. Every single person, every single time. I don't know what part of that is confusing to anyone. No one has the right to simply not ID someone because they know them. I want to see on video you guys ID every single person, every single time. And if their birthday's in the 90s, I want you to scan their ID. Exclamation points. I want you to hold the ID of everyone up in the left corner of the register while you're typing it in. We don't just ask for ID. Look at it, give it back to them, type in B-Day. Boss and I were utterly embarrassed being on TV pleading our case and our names in the paper for the 3rd time. I'm watching the shifts and I'm disappointed by quite a few that should have been ID and weren't, and the cashier should know better at this point. We lost a lot of customers and money from last time, and if it happens again, we would lose the license altogether, which is 30% of sales and basically carries payroll. That's threatening us, basically. Her way of saying, if we lose alcohol, then we won't be able to pay you. Which, I mean, okay, but then you won't have any employees, so how's that work out for you? Threats like this are so dumb to me. Like, hold on, there's more. I just wanted to end this. Oh, here we go. Did they manage to take out like 3 of my pieces this turn? Summon Skull and then what else? No, I guess 2 of them. I also want to mention duty lists. I take my time to write them, follow them. I shouldn't be replacing food all week. The stocking of food has been horrible lately. Follow my rules, procedures, maybe reread one of the many things I post along the way so we can all get on the same page to run smoothly. Thank you. Punctuation is all over the place in that message, but I can't point it out each time because it was just, we'd be here forever. And then a second one, 12 minutes later. Also, let's get back to uniform. No flannels, etc. Plain black zip-up sweatshirts, only unzipped with a work shirt underneath that we can see. Name tag. I'm seeing a lot that I don't like. That is all one sentence with way too many commas. Is there another monster that he hid somewhere? This should be over, shouldn't it? Oh, I didn't even see it. It's like a hidden Grebo over here. It's like a little Grebo. Hidden in the grass. I don't know what his plan was here, but okay. Oh, I guess he destroyed my Curse of Dragon. No cell phones at counter. This is a place of business. You are getting paid to be here and work. A lot of this is borderline insubordination. Reflects poorly on us, especially since 7-Eleven corporate comes in often, and you would never know it. Please start doing the right thing by us. I got that on vacation, and I've never just been like more upset with that. It was just like so annoying. It was just, I just didn't like it at all. And then the next message from her was
I lost.
Exactly 20 days later, and it was holiday bonuses will be handed out January 4th, or your first shift after that. Thank you everyone for pitching in. That's it. So clearly she was having a very bad day and just decided, I'm going to take it on my employees. I lost, but I had a lot of fun.
You were an excellent duelist, Bakura.
Bakura was pretty garbage, if I'm being honest.
Really? Oh, I know you're just saying that to make me feel better. Keep going, Yugi. I know you can win the whole tournament.
Sweet. So I texted her about that after. So that was a group message sent to me and 10 other people. So I texted her after that, and I was just like, am I not doing something right? Is there any way I can improve? And she just said, oh no, that was just meant to be sent to every employee. You're doing fine. And I was just like, why the fuck did I get the message? Like, I'm just, shit like that is bad. I'll say it, bad management. Because I'm just like, don't mass send shit like that when some people are doing everything right. Just because you want to appear like, oh, we're making it fair, so we're texting everyone. It's like, no, don't fucking just call people out when they do a shitty job. Also, so just some background. They had an employee who sold alcohol to a minor, and then the minor got pulled over by the police. They asked where they bought it, and they tracked it back to us. And after like a month in a court case, they got in trouble, and they had to move on. And they lost the liquor license for like 10 days, I think. And they've lost it before. My issue with this is that when they lost it before, they immediately fired the employee because of negligence. When they lost it this time, they kept trying to talk to the employee and be like, oh, what happened? And et cetera. How did this blah, blah, blah. And the employee was like kind of giving like half answers where they said, oh, I didn't sell it. And then they got him on camera selling it. And they were like, oh, well, I didn't mean to, or something like that. So like backtracking, it's like eventually they fired him. They fired her. And I was just like, so the fact that they're still punching us, I'm like, we're not the ones who sold alcohol. The people remaining didn't sell alcohol to anyone. That's why we're still here. Why are we getting this shit? And the idea that you have to ID every single person is ridiculous. I'm not IDing a man with old fucking or gray hair. Or people that I went to high school with and I'm 25. Like, I know they're old enough. It's like, that shit is so stupid to me. It's such a waste of time. And it's one thing to like say, like, oh, ID every time. It's like, yeah, but also you're telling us to keep lines down, and we can't do that because there's like 1,000 people here. We can't like take the time to ID every single person. It's just not smooth enough for a convenience store.
Hey kid, I'm your next opponent, the Great Bandit Keith.
It's funny that he's called American Keith or something. It's either American Keith or Keith Howard in the manga.
I'm the former American champ. There's no way a snot-nosed punk like you can beat me.
Also, I don't like that he calls us kid. I mean, he knows who Yugi is.
If you're the former American champion, that means you're not the champion anymore, right?
Jesus Christ.
Shut your mouth,
Yugi's
Rocky.
shade is
I'm warning
amazing in this.
Dissing me is gonna be hazardous to your health.
How dare you call yourself a champion? You've always dueled without pride or honor, cheating every chance you get. You've fallen far, Bandit Keith. So far that you're nothing more than a failure.
Sounds like it's time for a penalty game.
I'll make you eat your words. You're about to feel the greatest pain you've ever felt in your life.
Childbirth? Losing my virginity? What? No, I'm the guy. That doesn't make sense. Oh. What was he gonna say? Isn't Bandit Keith dead, canonically? Like, in the anime, he comes back and he duels Yugi in that one match where he's mind controlled by Merrick. But I mean, he's definitely dead after that. Like, the manga makes a point, the not so canonical manga of Yu-Gi-Oh! R makes a point to make him come back from the dead. So, like, they tested bringing him back before they attempt to bring back someone else. I'm just like, clearly, this shit is bananas. And I implore you, the court, give us justice. Oh, sorry. Okay. Where'd my phone go? Right. So that was a little bit of a tangent. Here we go. So, ridiculous Uber driver going incredibly slow to the airport. Right. So, we when on our way to the airport, one of my friends got an Uber. Until this point, I'd only taken Lyft. I want to make that clear. And this Uber driver very clearly used to be a taxi driver and has been doing it for a ridiculous amount of time. And just kind of like is trying to adapt with the new ways. I say this because it was like an old Asian man, and he had a slightly smaller car. Because it didn't matter. There were three of us. So, two in the back and then one in the front. And he basically, our time on Uber said that we'd get there in like 20 minutes to half an hour. It ended up taking 45 minutes because every time it would say to like go towards the highway or something like that, he would just like avoid it and take as many back roads as possible, which is weird in a place like Los Angeles where it's like you kind of need to use the highway. Like, it's important. And he finally did go on the highway about like 30 minutes in, and he was even slow on the highway, like even on the right, and his car was beeping the entire time, and I have no idea to this day why. Like, clearly he was not allowed on the highway. I don't know the reason. I don't know if it was like drinking related or if it's like his car just like couldn't do it, but there was something fucking fishy with it, and I never figured it out, and it still bothers me. So that's a thing. Don't want to get Fire Reaper. Let's get Baby Dragon. Baby Dragon. No, let's do Time Wizard instead, because we'll have more room to work. We have 87. I can get another Karibo. We're going to get with 87. Oh, I can get that other Fire Reaper. Cool, we'll do that. Alright. 7 out of 8 isn't bad. I'll take that. So that wasn't great. Oh, right. I read this, as I was scrolling through, I read this earlier. Could not for the life of me figure out why I wrote this. It just says playing intervention in airport. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Genuinely, I looked at it and I was like, why the fuck did I write this? And then I just remembered. So, at our terminal, there was a bunch of, there was a few TVs like on pillars around, probably just like to keep from boredom and stuff. But it was playing intervention, and I thought that was super weird and not at all appropriate for an airport. I'm just like, I don't want to hear about these people who've done drugs and stuff like this. Is just so strange. Like, I feel like airport TV would just like have to be like the news or something like that. I don't know what else would be appropriate.
It's time to stop.
So that was weird. Oh, that was fun. So I went to the bathroom at the airport, as you do. And when I went, I quickly went in to take piss, and I was the only one except for one guy. He was in there already, and he was talking on the phone. So I was just kind of like, you could see as I was walking in, like the angle makes it so you can see all the legs under the stalls, if that makes sense. Like they were kind of up a little high. So I could, I'm trying to do this and play. So I could see, you know, kind of all the toilets and which ones are occupied and stuff like that. And there was only one dude in the stalls, and this dude was very loudly talking on his phone. I don't know what was so urgent, especially because while he was loudly talking on the phone, he was taking a very loud shit. And this is why I had to make it very clear. He was the only one in these stalls, unless someone had their legs like up on the fucking walls, and that was like how they got their leverage. But he was definitely the only one there, so he was loudly taking a shit while on the phone. And I'm just like, I don't understand that brazenness. I cannot imagine, like, I can't imagine being on the phone in the bathroom, first of all, for various reasons. I can't imagine the person on the other line being like, why is your voice so echoey? I can't imagine other people in the bathroom hearing me talk on the phone. I can't imagine taking a shit while being on the phone. I would die from embarrassment. And just like so much of this that I can't fathom. And this dude was just like, nope, just another fucking Monday taking a loud shit in the bathroom. And I'm just like, what a brave man. And I mean, I gotta give props to him, but at the same time, what a disgusting human being. And human garbage now. So that was gross, but that happened. Let's see. I flew first class. I can safely say that it was for $100 more. It was slightly worth it. I say slightly because our plane wasn't full. So my friend who didn't buy first class, Catherine, was sitting in her own row. And I was like, of all the fucking planes that I had to pay $100, I paid $100 extra for first class, which is a deal, to be honest. I stand by it. It was something I did once. I'm glad I did it. It was very comfortable. But it was only a 3-hour flight, so. But at the same time, I was like, I was a little annoyed that I got first class, and then she just like had a row to herself. Just like of all the ones, this would have been the one not to do this for. So mildly annoyed at that. But I was like, overall it was a perfectly fine ride, so I'm not like super upset about it. Let's put time wizard over here. Let's see, we got 3 here, 3 here. Man, your bug's kind of annoying to maneuver, so let's do this. I think that's all of them. No, I haven't moved Karibo. I don't know how far up Bandit Keys guys are getting. I want to be careful. Right, let's move it slightly there. So first class was cool. Let's see. I don't know. Alright, whatever. I finished season 1 of My Hero Academia on the plane. And then, I don't remember if I got back into Haiku. I think that might have been what I did. I think I finished season 1. Maybe I started it? No. Yeah. What did I do here? I think what I did, I definitely remember watching Haiku on the plane. Haiku was the volleyball manga, or the volleyball anime. I don't remember if I started it on the plane or if I had already watched season 1 and now I was watching season 2 on the plane I had started. That seems more likely, but I'm not 100% sure. All I know is Haiku was watched on the plane. It's been too long now. I know I finished season 2 at work. Oh no, you know what? It was season 2 because I finished season 3 at work. So I think I started watching season 2 of Haiku. Great. Haiku is an amazing anime. I mean, sports anime, you can take it or leave it, but goddamn, do they build that drama on something that should not matter at all, but it totally does. So I highly recommend. Oh, I don't have an FAP, damn it. So that was cool. We had a super cool Lyft driver from our from the airport to our Airbnb. He was like, I thought he was like a hip 20s black guy. And I don't need to mention that he's black. That doesn't add anything to the story. But it was more of just like he had like a fro, pretty good one to be honest. And he was just really cool and chill about the whole thing. Or like we were just asking him like, oh, you have any place you recommend? And they all kind of recommended the same spots, like all the Lyft drivers and their friends and stuff like that. But he was really cool about it. He told us like, you know, different areas to avoid and stuff like that. And I forget how it came up, but I think we asked how long he'd been in Portland, and he said something like 15 or 20 years. And I was just like, or no, the way he phrased it, he said since I was, he said something like since I was 26, so 15 years. I was like, but this dude's 40? What? I was like shocked because he did not look it at all. He easily could have been in his 20s. So I was just like super proud of, or I was just super happy for him. Just like, man, whatever you're using, keep using it because it's working. So there was that. What happened to Summons? Oh, he's way at the top. So there was that. He was cool. We met up with my friend Sean. Sean Desmaneberga. I also met at Cape Cod Community. I say also because I just recorded Digimon Adventure Part 3, and I talked about Cape Cod there. But I met him. So I met him. He was friends with Spencer and his then at the time girlfriend Nicole. Spencer's told a story about him with the donuts at some point. I don't know when it was. It was in Borderlands at some point, I think. But yeah. So we met up. We were going to meet up at this pizza place. I forget what it's called. I think I wrote it down and I can't find it now. But the plan was to meet up at this one specific pizza place, and then it was closed on Mondays or Tuesdays or something, which was super weird to me. I don't like when stores close on one specific day. I find that shit annoying. But it was whatever. So instead we went to a Thai place, and I'm just like, this is the second time I've had Thai now. So I was like all excited. I met Sean's girlfriend. They were a sickeningly adorable couple. Like, I don't like to admit when people are cute together, because that requires feelings. And but they were, and I follow them on Facebook now. I followed Sean already, but I follow his girlfriend as well. And whenever they post stuff together, I'm just like, aw. At the same time, I'm like, I fucking hate them. So that's the relationship. But Sean told a story that I thought was fantastic, which was he works in IT at, I think high school. Yeah, it was definitely high school because Sean's got a baby face a little bit. He's a year or two younger than me, and he works IT at a high school, and he's got like a little like broom closet as an office. And first off, he has a story where he or just an interaction where he said he like walked by some of the high school kids.
This guy's nothing like you faced before.
Who the hell is this? It's not Barrel Dragon, is it? Oh, snap, it is!
How does it feel to be blasted out of existence?
You've done nothing. You can't use that line yet. That's cool. I didn't know he was in here. I also didn't know you could walk in that middle part. I feel slightly betrayed. So he told a story about how some kids like harassed him basically. Or just like, hey, IT guy, and Sean's like still intimidated by high school kids, which is funny to me. They said something where it's like, this is not the word they used, but I'm gonna pretend it was, where they said something like clearly trying to like insult him, or something like that. Or they said something like, hey, IT guy, are you floppy? And floppy is not the word they used, but they said like some random word like that, and Sean, not knowing the slang, was just sort of like, yeah, totally, man, and just kept walking. And I just, it was really strange, where Sean's reaction is just like, yeah, yep, that's me, you know me. So, Sean the floppy guy. And then, I gotta, like, hang back. I gotta start moving the symbol over, because they're gonna throw that feral imp, like, straight at me. I can feel it. Can I... Okay, I can attack that one, but can I move if I don't do that? Hold on. I need to be where Maneater Bug is for this. Or I can be where Time Wizard is, and I can attack that second one. So this is basically a Time Wizard. Alright. We're gonna work on killing this one. So Sean had another story where it was... it says Clancy's story and Feet's story. I have no idea what the fuck the Feet story is. I don't remember this at all. I'm gonna have to remember Catherine. I'm gonna have to remember to ask Catherine if she knew what it was. But essentially, so Sean, I said, worked in like a little closet at the school, and he found a mouse one day, so instantly he named it Clancy. And I'm just like, sure, that makes sense. I can get behind that. I can't move Grey Moth again. Damn it. It's like a sitting duck. I'm getting a good position where I can intercept Feral Imp. Anyway. So he, so basically he meets Clancy, and he just like couldn't get him to come out. So he just starts leaving little bits of food, and he sees Clancy like eat the food and stuff like that. And he's like terrified to tell anyone about Clancy, but it's just like it's like something he looks forward to every day. We're just like, I can't wait to go see Clancy today. And I'm just like, oh, Sean. And I asked him, so this happened, he told me about this back in early December when I was still in Portland, and I should mention this, by the way. I went from Los Angeles to Portland. That's where the story transitioned. And I only went with my friend Catherine. My other friends, one of them who lived in LA, did not come with us. And then the other one just went back to Boston. And so I asked Sean for an update about this like a week ago, and I said, hey, ask Clancy. Because I also found a mouse at my work, but I haven't found it again. I didn't name it Arnold or anything. I did. It's named Arnold. So I asked Sean. He said he hasn't seen Clancy since, and he's fairly sure he's dead. So that's a very sad story. I had more to the Clancy story. I wish I'd written more down, but I like half wrote these notes when I was on NyQuil. So I was still very sick at this point. I had gotten sick, like I'd reached my peak when I was at the vegan restaurant with the pilot. So like all of my notes from this point are like written in like hieroglyphics basically. I just like, I mean there's sentences, but they're very quick. So I met up with Sean, restaurant was closed. Sean, Clancy story, and Feet story, I have no idea what that was. We went to a grocery store because we were going to be there for a day or two just to get stuff. I bought about 3 energy drinks that I'd never seen before. I bought Highball, Guru, and Amazon. I think I remembered liking Highball the most. just because these are things I don't normally find, and that's something. All right, I'm just gonna get a quick hit on Barrel Dragon, just pepper him a little bit, let him know who's boss. And then I should start moving Summon Skull down. I feel like. Okay, I feel like I don't have enough AP here. Yeah, so that was the end of the first night in Portland. We kind of just settled down. I think we watched John Mulaney, and both went to sleep. So we only had that. We had that night in Portland, and then we had only one full day in Portland, and then we left the next morning. So we didn't spend a ton of time there. So this all happens very quickly. We got up kind of early, and we went to Voodoo Donuts, and I got a Fruit Loop Donuts, and like the selection that they had was pretty fucking badass. Where they had a fuck ton of donuts, but the Fruit Loop donut I got it because it's mostly a gimmick. Where I was just like, oh, you know, haha, it's a donut with Fruit Loops on it. The Fruit Loops are super stale, but it was just kind of an interesting. I didn't really like the frosting either that they used, but it was just like a white frosted donut with Fruit Loops sticking out of it. It doesn't sound as impressive when I say it like that, but it was pretty cool. And they had a really cool amount of selections and stuff like that. I instantly liked Portland more than I like Los Angeles, just because of this donut store. So then we went from there. We walked around a bit, and we ended up at Powell's Bookstore, which is supposed to be the biggest bookstore either in the world or the country. I don't know. It was one of the two. It was a big ass bookstore. It had they said it was the size of a city block. I don't know if I believe that, because it was big, but I don't think it was that big. Okay, can I not attack Barrel Dragon in this position? That's unfortunate. I should keep distracting him by throwing my weaker monsters at him. Hey, a Barrel Dragon, it's a me, a time wizard. Look at my mustache, it's 2 clock hands. Okay. I don't know where he can hit me from, so I'm just gonna move down and hope for the best. I'll do that with Summon Skull too. And then can I move someone else? Let's move Kareeb Abdul-Jabbar. I keep making that joke, it's not getting funnier. Or funny to start with. Okay. Nice. I'll take that. That's an easy destruction. So yeah, Powell's Bookstore was pretty cool. So I ended up buying 9 books, which is too many books. Too many books in the dance floor. I bought all 3 of Dimitri Martin's books without. So here's what I do: when I buy books, I don't open them, and that's, I think, a good policy to have, because I don't like. I just assume, and this may sound crazy, when I open a book, or when I buy a book, I assume there will be words inside of it. I should have assumed differently with Dimitri Martin. So. Sorry. So he's 3 books. The first one, this is a book, and then the second one, I forget what it's called, and then they came out. The first one came out 2011. The second one came out in 2013, and the most recent one came out in 2017. So I was like, oh, he's still putting stuff out. The second 2 books are both just drawings, which is Dimitri Martin's shtick, so it makes sense. But I didn't think they were that good. The drawings were good, and the jokes were funny. It was just his first book, This Is a Book, also had short stories and written stuff in it, and I thought those were really funny, so I was hoping it would be more of that. Also, he wrote 2 short stories. I forget, one of them is about passing on into the next life, that were just genuinely not even just they were funny, but not even judged as comedy. Were really, really good short stories, so I was hoping for more of that, and I did not get it. So that was slightly disappointing. But no, it's been good. So I've read I read all 3 of those books now. I read the 2 with the drawings. I'm not gonna lie to you, I took them whenever I went to the toilet, because it went kind of quickly. And then the first book I read most, if not all, either on the plane or in Portland when we had some downtime. So I read those, and then so I read those. They were good. I bought they had a whole section of books by webcomics, or by webcomic artists, and I'm really into webcomics. So I was like, I have to buy at least one. So I went with Sarah Scribbles book, which I think I can see. called Big Mushy Lump. And I bought that one because I've read a lot of the webcomics that I follow, I like actively follow. So like, you know, like Cyanide and Happiness, Things in Square, Poorly Drawn Lines, etc. Sarah Scribbles, I follow, but like I don't see as much of her, I feel like, 'cause she doesn't really post on Reddit. And that's where I see a lot of them. Like her Facebook posts I don't see very often. So I bought that one thinking that it would be good because it would be like something I could read and I wouldn't have seen most of them. So that was the plan. Also just beat Bandit Keith. But also, and I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking if I did read them all, I could probably give it to a friend and they'd be like, "Oh, thank you for this amazing gift." And I'd be like, "Yes, it's not at all used."
No way! I've beaten tougher opponents than you. How could I lose?
This duel was over before it began, when you decided to fight without honor.
What do you know? Drill this into your head. Next time, I will get my revenge. Just you wait. I'm out of here.
Goodbye and good riddance,
So I think
Bandit Keith.
the 5th stage has a couple people come back. I think Pegasus comes back. I'm not sure if Bandit Keith does. And I think that's where Yami Merrick, Yami Bakura are. But I don't know. We'll see. Do we really need this? Was this necessary? The tomb fell apart. I get it. Cool imagery. Okay, here we go. Look at all that XP. Oh, my symbol leveled up again. Nice. I'm going to keep at it. I'm just going to keep going base AP and then effect strength. I don't need extra PP because it doesn't need, it's not actively getting attacked. This we know. You leveled up and you didn't do shit. You fought pretty hard. You both deserve this. Okay, here we go. Barrel Dragon, obviously, because it's unique. I don't really give a shit about any of these other ones. We'll get Feral Imp. Yeah, so what else did I buy in the bookstore? I bought 3 Demetri Martin books, Sarah Scribbles. I bought Patton Oswald's book, Silver Screen Fiend. I bought Mark Maron's book, which is a collection of like excerpts from his podcast. I bought Bossy Lady by Tina Fey. I bought the Seinfeldpedia, which I think is going to be pretty cool to read. And then I've also bought, you know, the only like real novel I bought wasn't like a stand-up comedian's book or like something else like different, was American Gods by Neil Gaiman. So I'm looking forward to reading that. Yeah, so I have more things here and I'm just like, do I save them for next time? I'm like, I must, right? It's still like a bit. I thought I would get through it all. Because let's go through the game, because we're about to unlock the 4th area, so I'm sure there's some story shit. Then there's new monsters to buy. No, maybe? Alright, done. Area clear. We're moving right along through this game. Alright, Area 4, we have Shoddy, Kaiba, it's Koiba, Ishizu, breasts get bigger every time I see her, Ishtar, Yami Merrick, and then Yami Bakura. If I remember, Yami Bakura's arena, that middle part, is where you level up Dark Magician, so it can evolve into Dark Magician of Chaos, because that's the only field with like dark that much. So, I don't remember fighting Shoddy. I remember fighting Kaiba, and that's where I leveled up Exodia, so I must have fought Shoddy. I don't remember fighting anyone else. So this is sort of new territory for me. I pressed circle, did that? Okay, good. Let's go back to the entrance hall. What would you like to do? I don't know, Grandpa. Manage monsters. Let's tag some of these monsters out, because I don't need them all. Okay. Feral Imp, and these two can stay, I guess. Let's get rid of one of these lava moths. Don't need them anymore. Let's get rid of second Fire Reaper. Not feeling it anymore. Petite Moth can suck my nuts. This lava moth can stay. Fiend Kraken, no thank you. Shovel Crusher, no thank you. We have level 6 Grebo. We have a level 1 Grebo. Level 1 Grebo, I'm gonna need you to fuck off. And then we have Crow Goblin can stay. He's somewhat interesting. Flame Manipulator can fuck off. Saturate Easter Island can fuck off. Sesame Giant can fuck off. Rogue Dog can fuck off. That's unique. That's unique. Somewhat unique. Lucky Trinket can fuck off. Needleball can fuck off. Then I'm okay with these. Second Virulent can fuck off. Okay. Now, when I go to build the unit again, is it going to like force them all together, or is this going to be really annoying to look at? Don't do this to me, game. I hate these spots. Damn it. Okay. That sucks. That's annoying. But I'll power through. Okay. I got some new monsters in. Here's a cutscene.
You've gotten very far.
Thanks, Grandpa.
It makes me proud to be your grandpa. Here are some more new monsters to help you out.
Why didn't you just give
What
me
would you
from the
like to
beginning?
do?
That's kind of bullshit, Grandpa. Alright, let's go to the bottom. Machine Attacker. The Immortal Thunder. Mortal of Thunder. Gear Golem Moving Fortress. Akakiesu. I've never seen that card in my life. I'm not enjoying the lack of cool new monsters here. Twin-Headed Behemoth's cool. I like him. I don't know if he was here before. I saw Gazelle, and then we have some other cards here. Mech Bass, which is a great design, but that's about it. I guess it's going by type. Molten Behemoth. I've never seen that card either. There it is. There's our boy. Dark Magician. Thank you. The last piece of Exodia, or I'm sorry, second to last. What else we got? Prisman, not Elemental Hero Prisman. That's it. This is a shitty buy. You added all the good cards last time. Alright.
What would you like to do?
So I think if I back out, now that I have 4 pieces of Exodia, Grandpa will be like, hey, here's a 5th piece of Exodia. I think that's how this works. I don't think I have to level the other one up first.
What would you like to do?
Alright, Grandpa, don't cuck me here. Did I actually buy it? Yeah. They're gone now. Alright.
What would you like to do?
Time to Google it. I want to make sure I don't miss it. Head of Exodia Capsule Monster. Let's see if that's enough. Where can I find Exodia's head? You first have to obtain the other 4 pieces of Exodia. You can get these by buying them. Then go to Grandpa's store, and it should be there. You also have to have all 4 when you see him in his shop. Do I not have them? Did I not back out far enough? Manage monsters. Let's make sure I have all 4 equipped first. I see 3. That's the issue. That's why. Let's get that 4th one. There it is. It's also pull dark. Oh, because I just bought it. I figured it would be equipped, but I guess not. Alright. I also, while I'm here, I should check how, what level Dark Magician has to be to evolve Mission Black Chaos. Level 4 Dark Magician, square with 40 Dark. How am I supposed to get him to level 4 that quickly? You mad lad. Let me show you this special monster just for you.
What would you like to do?
You did nothing. You did not show me any special monsters, you lying sack of shit. There it is. Alright. Now, I don't
What
think...
would you like to do?
No, Exodia should be listed here. Okay, it is... Even his head has to be level 2. Okay. I think... Now, at this point in time, I think it would be better for the game if I went and just leveled Exodia and Dark Magician separately. Like if I just went in and did a couple of, like, multiplayer matches and leveled them that way. I think that would be best. I think it would be an easier way to level them. So I'm probably gonna do that, and then that way when we start a match, they'll be like ready to go and ready to evolve. I think I might summon Exodia in multiplayer so that I don't have to like waste, because you need to put all 5 of the monsters out in the field at once, and if I do that in a story match, that's basically just like saying, hey, fuck me in this match. I get Exodia and like 1 or 2 other monsters. And I don't want to do that, so... Alright. Thank you for watching, and look forward to more. See you next time, in the conclusion of my vacation stories.